What's going on, guys? It's Slappy Flappy here. Today we're getting a bit real again. I think I'm not feeling good today. This is the day after my Christmas party, and I'm feeling a little bit unordinary, and I've had some stuff happen with my nose today, and I'm currently tasting blood, fresh blood, which is not very nice. I don't know what the cause of that is, but it's got my head thinking things, and I've got mad anxiety at the worst of times. So this is definitely I'm not feeling great, but I still want to make a video. I'm at a point in my life where I'm feeling a little bit lost, and look, I think it's normal to have this sensation, regardless of who you are, what age you are. There's just that sort of sense of feeling a little bit lost. I'm set in a pretty decent spot, I have a stable job, I'm in a happy relationship, I live in I have a house, I'm in a very fortunate situation, is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know if I'm feeling a bit stuck. I've been having moments where I'm like, I've got to get up for work and wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do this. It's been happening a lot recently. I feel my motivation falling away. I've had a lot of stuff going on recently that's sort of just put me in a place where I'm a little bit more stressed out than usual. I've mentioned before that I've got a new, I have a new role at work, so that's provided some, new stresses that I didn't have prior. I haven't seen my psychologist in a little while. Unfortunately, it's expensive. Where I sort of have money, I'm also very irresponsible with it, so I struggle to keep hold of it. So I do sometimes waste my income. I've had all my ENT surgeries, and this was a shit time for me because I'm on blood thinning medication for my heart, and they were like, you need to go off these meds for your surgery. Went off the meds, and then they were like, you can go back on them. After a week post-surgery, went back on them, and then it was like 2 days later, I had a very severe nosebleed where blood just started pouring down my nose, and then when I tried to block it and stop it, it was then just running down my throat, and I was literally spitting up so much blood that I went to a little local satellite hospital to get checked out, where they put this inflatable packing in my nose to apply pressure, and unfortunately the sensation was I was in such significant pain, more pain than anything that happened post-surgery. Fortunately I got sorted, but I was in hospital again for longer than I even was when I had the surgery. Was let go. They were like, all right, stay off the meds again for another week, and then go back on them. So I went back on them. Following day, had another nosebleed, and I've gone back to the hospital. Fortunately, so I went straight to the hospital where I had the surgery done, and they, I was able to get the blood to stop this time, fortunately enough, so that definitely lowered the amount of issue that was going on. And they were like, you know what, just stay on your meds, same level, but I ended up, I took the initiative to half my dosage just because I couldn't go back. I couldn't do it again. I didn't want to do it again. And I'd been fine till recently I had another nosebleed, but it wasn't as severe. I was able to get it to stop myself, but I felt really ill, and then today I had this big... sorry, it's a bit TMI, but I had this big clotty mess thing come out of my nose, and I think since then I've had a bit of blood running down the back of my throat, and it doesn't seem to be a lot, fortunately. It's just enough, and it's kind of got me fretting a bit, and I'm gonna have to go back to hospital again or something, which I don't want to do. So I don't know, I'm gonna see how I go tomorrow. I'm back at work tomorrow. It's a Sunday today, so in this moment, just wanted to have a short little get shit off my chest moment about this, not feeling well. But yeah, so that's sort of, a big thing that's going on at the moment that's got me sort of feeling a bit weird. Then, yeah, as I mentioned, the stress of this new role at work, there's a lot behind this role that's sort of leaving me with a lot of stress. I don't really want to go into details because it's my job, but, there's a lot of added stress from this promotion. As I said, I haven't seen my psych in a while because I don't have as much money, but partly that's because I had the surgery, so I didn't have the money, but then also I probably could have had the money if I didn't waste the money, on things I didn't need. And today, I feel so nauseous. I feel so ill today. After the Christmas party last night, which, I sort of, I said to myself prior to going to it, I'm like, I want to get absolutely just demolished. I really wanted to get fucked up. Part of that, me doing it, I was a bit like, I deserve this. I need this. This is going to make me feel good. I think I went too hard. I definitely made a bit of a dick of myself at this, work party. Nothing too serious. Nothing too bad. But there's no denying that I did sort of go a bit overboard. Silly things, not naming people correctly, forgetting people's names, I should say. Oh, there is. You know, literally just minor things that, you know, aren't a big issue, but make me sort of regret how much I drank. I mean, the fact that I feel sick anyway is kind of a bit of a giveaway. Like, I don't drink much. I've got a lot of, you know, deep trauma shit about alcohol, because parents avid drinkers whilst I was growing up. In fact, they're both avid drinkers now. Divorced, separated, doing their own things, but still very much the same people. Like, as much as I'm like, it isn't for me, I still go and do dumb shit. Like, I need alcohol because it makes me feel better, but really it just sort of, it puts me in a position where I'm like, I can unload all my grievances, and all the stresses recently have had me feeling a bit like, there's a lot, and I just wanted to unwind. You know, look, there's no denying that I sort of got to unwind, that's for sure. But how I unwinded was a lot of alcohol on the company's dollar. Like, to put it into perspective, you know, there's probably people out there who are like, oh, lightweight, but I am, because I don't drink, you know. I especially haven't drank like this in years. I'd already had 8 Coke and whiskey Cokes, whatever you want to say, and it was about 9 o'clock at night. They'd let us know, hey, we're closing the bar at 10, so just so everyone's aware. So I grabbed 2 more drinks, and then I looked at time and it was 9:30ish, and I'm like, well, I should probably get two more drinks. I ended up drinking 4 whiskey and Cokes in the span of like an hour. I think I held on to maybe a little bit longer than that. I felt like a bit of a bumbling fool, and at this point in time, I'm just feeling a bit, I mean, I don't know. I don't like me at the moment. Just, yeah, I'm not liking me very much. I think I feel like a bit of a fool, making a lot of just, you know, little life mistakes. I think I'm putting a lot of focus into the areas that aren't my mental health, when, you know, like, obviously maybe this is a point of that, but, like, you know, these videos, they get to be a bit of an outlet for me. I'm not in a great place at the moment. I think, you know, that mask is slipping just a tad bit. I don't want to sound ridiculously depressing, but it is just, it's a lot, you know. I have script to up my medication, so, you know, if it's getting too rough for me, of course, I've got you know, higher meds. I actually went to dispense them the other day, but my stupid ass didn't dispense the right ones. I hit the wrong ones because they were an e-script. So, you know, the script's on my phone, and I did a dum-dum, dispensed the wrong one. And then there's also something which is, like, you know, great news, but it also has a lot of, you know, other stuff lingering beneath it, is the fact that I live with my in-laws, but they've just bought land. They're going to buy a house, and it's an hour and a half away from where we currently live, which is where, like, my job currently is, where I've got, like, my friends and stuff, and the same goes for my fiance. She's got the same thing. But in terms of everyone's positions, like, we've already said with friends and stuff, like, we don't see friends often anyway, because, you know, everyone's always busy, everyone's got work, family, children, all that sort of stuff. So it's not too much different to, you know, say that we'll just figure out a weekend and plan it out that we'll go, you know, see them and just make a big thing of it. The work side of things is where I'm a bit like, you know, obviously I've just said, like, I'm kind of tired of my job in a way, and like in saying that, like, I've never been consistent with work, so this is the most consistent job I've had. I've been there for nearly 3 years, so I don't have any intention of leaving. But I think the hardest thing is, you know, my in-laws, you know, their work can really take them anywhere. My fiance, she works from home, so she's not, you know, it's not too tricky for her to still retain her position and stuff. But for me, the job that I work for, there's the nearest store to where we will be moving to it's about half an hour away from where we're going to be living, which isn't an issue. The issue is that in these stores, you only have 2 people per store. So moving to a different store is not possible unless there's turnover, resignation, or whatever have you. There's got to be a position available because they can't just expect to move someone else around because someone needs to relocate. It kind of comes down to, you know, two things. They either have to find a store that's nearby. The next store is close, is about an hour away, and then same for the next one's about an hour away. So it's also coming up to Christmas. Christmas is it's a holly jolly time. Unfortunately, I always like to say I love Christmas. Like to a certain degree, I do. I've got a lot of, you know, trauma around Christmas as well from my childhood, which kind of makes it harder to enjoy. And you know, it's a time where, you know, you've got to, you know, think about others. And I don't mean that to sound selfish, it's just I can barely think for myself. And then there's, you know, people around me getting cheerful. Is the Panzer Soldat coming? I swear to God I saw the screen choke. And again, the fact that I can taste blood in my mouth is so distracting. And it makes me feel so sick, and it makes me feel so concerned. So it's probably fine. Also, I'm not a fucking doctor, so I don't know that. I don't know, I mentioned I took mental health leave in one of the other videos. Maybe I need to look at it again. I don't like mentioning mental health leave to my work, even though they're very supportive and understandable when it comes to understanding, I should say. When it comes to mental health, and it still comes down to I don't want them to view it as, you know, a crutch or a weakness, or like, oh, this role's not for you because you can't handle it, so we're gonna take you away from it. But everything's a bit up in the air with that anyway, so I'm definitely feeling a bit lost. Not to make this the most depressing video ever, but you know, again, that's what this channel's about, is me just getting out here, being honest about how I'm doing, you know. There we go. Dead fella. I didn't want this one to be too long. I don't feel very well, so I'm just gonna try my hand for the box, see if there's anything good in here. I just want to try and get, I don't know, ray gun or something. Anyone else used to do it? Anyone else used to shoot the lock because they like it was gonna make the box spin better? Anyone else do that? That was a big thing I used to do as a kid. Oh, it's the bear. Well, it is what it is then. Anyway, guys, sorry for this one being so goddamn depressing. I'm feeling so goddamn depressed. I think I'm just gonna get this around 15 and call it quits. I don't know. I don't like myself at the moment. I'm feeling a bit lost. There's a lot of stuff just in life recently that sort of brought me down, and it's gonna be really weird editing this because I'm just depressed and jump cuts between me being absolutely depressing. Feels weird. Do you think this is how Logan Paul felt? I'm sure everything will sort itself out. It always does, you know. I don't know if you've, you know, if you felt like this before, or you feel like this now, I don't know, feel free to drop your experiences in the comments. I don't know, like, I definitely, perspective, I guess. I know there are people out there that have dealt with a fuck ton worse than what I'm mentioning, but everyone experiences things differently, and I know I'm definitely a bit of a soft touch, so at the moment, in my state of mind, I'm definitely not handling whatever it is well. I can't just, all I want to do is sleep, actually. That's kind of all I want right now, is just to sleep, put on just comfort movies in the background and just go to sleep. Be nice if I could do that. Probably not, though.